Hey, good morning everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to make butter tarts. Somebody actually asked me to make this for them because they really liked them, and I had some leftover tart shells from the last recipe, so I figured why not. And I cobbled together a recipe that is dangerously easy to make and surprisingly good. You only need a few ingredients. You need a pack of, I'm going to use a new pack. I have a couple of halves in the freezer, but I'll use that some other time. It is a movie, you know. But you need a pack of unsweetened tart shells for this because it is sweet and you don't want to add to it. You can buy these in the freezer section. I wouldn't get the brand name. The generic ones are just as good for this, and they're significantly cheaper. You will need 1 cup. Now I'm using my Vanilla Pancake Syrup that I've made in this other recipe. Here's the link. If you want to use store-bought, it likely will come out. I don't think the taste is going to be as good though. Okay? Now, for the butter tart mixture itself, you're going to need ½ cup of raisins. I use the golden ones because I like those. You can use the dark ones if you want. Make sure they are seedless though for your guests. Half a stick of unsalted butter. I always use unsalted in my dessert recipes. If you like salt in your sweet things, fine, use that. I just find the flavor is more subtle with the unsalted. And 2 to 3 large eggs. Now the reason I say 2 to 3, I'm going to be using 3 in my recipe because I want the filling to set, right? Some people like their butter tarts runny, and if you only use 2 eggs, they will be runnier than they are now. Alright? So first thing to do is get water boiling. So once you got your water boiled, just cover your raisins with some boiling water and just let them sit while you get the rest of it ready. I did forget one ingredient because it is optional. If you put in 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract, it just sets off the flavor. If you don't like almonds, just leave it out. No problem. So measure 1 cup of the vanilla pancake syrup. Add that to a small bowl. If you're going to be using the almond extract, now's the time to add it. Measure out ½ a stick of butter, salted or unsalted, whatever you decided to use, and then melt that in the microwave. When the butter's melted, add it to the syrup and then whisk it up. Once that's in, add the eggs one by one. Preheat your oven to 325. And let the whisked mixture sit on the counter while you're going to drain the raisins and get your tart shells ready. The reason for this is you'll notice this is quite thick now. It will liquefy when you let it sit, and you need to have it in that state before you can fill the tarts. Keep the tart shells in the freezer until the last second, because if you don't, they'll stick together and they'll be really hard to separate. So just lay out 2 dozen, 12 on each sheet. Once your tart shells are laid out, get your raisins that have been well drained. Just use any kind of strainer and just start divvying them up between the shells. The nice part about doing this by hand is that if you've got people that like lots of raisins, or there's people that don't like any raisins, you can just split them up how you want, provided you keep track of who's getting what. So all the tart shells have been filled. Okay, and I'm just going to shove that over a bit so I can get the bowl in here. Now, so you'll notice that has like thinned out quite a bit just while I was getting the tart shells ready. Okay, as in the other recipe, you can use a large spoon. I do prefer to use a gravy ladle to fill these, and I always fill them over the bowl because if you spill some on the baking sheet, it will burn in the oven and it makes a big mess. So just start by filling them about that much, and I've got my little spoon here for the end to even them out if necessary. Okay, I'm nearly there. I just thought I'd give you another shot of this so you can see that the filling continues to get thinner as you fill them, so it won't be a problem. Well, that was the last tart shell, and that's how much is left in the bottom. Okay, and I did drip a little bit on the last one, so I just got a damp paper towel. Now this is where the spoon comes into play, because unless you want to throw out that last one, this one's got a bit too much in it. I'm going to need that paper towel again, looks like. So you can borrow from that one. That one looks a little too full. There you go. And just get your damp paper towel if you made a mess like I did. Because if you don't wipe this up before you put it in the oven, yeah, it will burn and it'll smell and smoke and everything. So once these are ready to go, put them in your preheated 325 degree oven on the middle rack for exactly 25 minutes. It's been 25 minutes, the arm just went off, so I'm just going to open up the door there and we'll take a look at it. Yeah, those came out just right. The filling is still bubbling, so these are going to have to cool down for quite a while before you can eat them. Also, the flavor does mature over time. These typically taste better the next day. If you can wait that long for your first batch, probably not, but please wait long enough that you don't burn your mouth. I'll show you what they look like in a bit. Yeah, these have cooled down quite nicely. I gotta buy a second cooling rack one of these days. So let me just take one out of the shell here and show you what it looks like. So there's the texture I was talking about, where it's nice and set, but it's not runny. And like I said, if you do like a runny butter tart, and I did forget to say at the beginning, butter tarts are a Canadian recipe as far as I know. And if you do like the runny ones, by all means, try it with the 2 eggs. Okay, so there's my butter tart recipe. I hope you do like it and try it, and I hope I see you again. Thank you.